Karina Saltzman, and this is my husband, Ben Saltzman.
Hello.
And this is the Salties. And we are on our second week of family vacation here in Manchester, Massachusetts. And the first 2 weeks we spend with Ben and his family and extended family. And then the last week we spend just kind of on our own, connecting and having friends and just people who are close to us come.
Yeah. And during that first week, we were at 20 people. I think we up maybe to 24 people at some of the dinners. So there is a lot of people and interaction, and they're my family, and so I get all triggered and I feel distant from them and I'm not doing it right and connected to them. It is quite a thing.
Yeah, it's full on.
Yeah.
The first day after everybody left, we just could have laid there and we're like, wow, that was a lot.
Yeah, we're just basically processing what happened and
Right.
what went
How
down.
to go and yeah.
And in this episode of the Salties, we are going to be talking about relationships and how do we do relationship repair. When there's a rift or a break in relationship, how do we come back into connection? And
this, could be with friends, it could be with your intimate partner, it could be with your children, sort of it could be with people who work with you or for you, or a variety of different ways that could show up where there are agreements to be able to work things out to continue the relationship.
So let's talk about what happens when we break down a relationship. What are examples of how relationship rifts happen?
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking of one in particular. Well, it wasn't actually a rift, which is interesting enough. It was an imagined rift on my part. And it was with somebody I didn't know so well, but am getting to know. And so I had thought I had offended her by sort of inviting her to something, but then sort of backing off on the time that I was going to invite her for. And I thought that I had offended her.
Yeah, because you said you wanted it and then you pulled it back.
Right. I decided I didn't really want to spend as much time, and anyhow.
Yeah, and what happened? How did she feel? How did you?
Well, I pulled away for a little while, and I was like just imagining worst case scenario. I was like, damn, I did it again, where I, had this thing where I was like too welcoming, and then I'd back off, and so I was kind of going through my own stuff.
So this is part of what happens when there's a rift in relationship, or an imagined rift in relationship.
I spent a lot of time thinking about it.
We go circles and circles. And we distance ourselves from that other person because we don't know how they're going to be and how they're going to feel about it, and which usually just makes the whole thing worse if there is a rift.
So, and I think it's the Hendricks who talk about that withhold, withdraw, and project. So first we withhold, and then we withdraw, and then we start coming up with things, all sorts of stories about, well, who is she to be mad at me, and all these. And finally, I just said, look, I've got the story running that you were offended, and she's like, no, I wasn't offended at all.
Right, the whole thing was imagined.
I had went through this whole arc of.
Right. So other ways that we can create rifts. We say we're going to do something, we don't do it. That's a big one. We say we're going to support somebody on a business project, and we don't come through for them, or they don't think that we came through in a way that we didn't do it right. Or we say we're going to go out with somebody or show up at their event or at their party or for a dinner or some gathering, something, and we don't show up, or we're late, or we make an agreement around something that's really important for them and we break that agreement and we don't have any conversation with them about it. For some reason they think that you've done something behind their back, or you've said something bad about somebody to a third party and they hear about that. These cause huge rifts in relationships.
And I think in the first part too, it's that we're not, in that first part, it's like if I'm not clear with myself around what I have a yes for and what I have a no for, I can overextend and then get into a messy situation with somebody where they feel dropped.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really honor that I wasn't fully yes into making that happen or showing up at their thing or doing the thing they wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm. So I have an example from my business of where this happened, and will you kind of interview me about what the breakdown was?
Yeah, I haven't heard the story.
Okay.
So
recently we're hiring, or in the process of hiring, a couple of new players in our business, and one of the new positions is a new bookkeeper. We have an accountant / bookkeeper that I love, but we need a new one to come in. And the one that we have, we call her Badass Grandma, because she really knows her shit and she's really good. And here
she's now my bookkeeper.
And she's now Karina's bookkeeper. And so we're bringing in somebody new, and she is training this new person. And any questions so far?
No.
No, okay.
No, I'm just following the story.
So we bring her in, the new person, and she's getting trained, and it's going on for a while, and I'm starting to ask, like, when is this training gonna end? You know, in another month will we be done? And I can't get an answer out of them. We have a complex operation, so it makes sense, you know, that it'll take somebody a while, because a lot of different places where money comes in and billing, and it's a complex thing. And then I get the invoice from my current bookkeeper, and it's about double what her monthly invoice usually is. And I'm like shocked, and I write back, wow, all right, let's wrap up the training. And like, go ahead and pay yourself and let's wrap up the training. And I get an email back from her that's paragraphs long, and I don't ever get paragraphs long from my accountant. And it's, I understand how you would be feeling this way, and blah, 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 kind of make nice, and then like, wham, I feel underappreciated, underpaid for doing this, like intense, not happy with the situation. Any questions now?
Do you know what she's mad about? Like, are you clear about what she's...
No. I don't know what she's mad about.
Because, like, I'm wondering, like, did something, you know, like, what,
yeah,
at what point did it...
I don't know what she's mad about, and I'm afraid of knowing. Like, you know,
How long has this been going on?
Yeah, like, what have I done wrong? And oh my God, is she gonna quit? And
so you're kind of afraid.
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid and a little bit hesitant.
And taken aback, I'm imagining.
Yeah, and quite surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see it
From my standpoint, the whole training process had been going pretty well. You know, it's been a month and a half.
And she feels underappreciated, undervalued, underpaid, like all these things.
Yeah, and this, you know, almost like I didn't sign up for this kind of feeling in the email. So, and I'm on vacation, right? So
this all happens here?
Yeah, this is 10 days ago.
I'm glad I didn't know about it.
Yeah. I'm like, oh God. So I don't want to wait till I get home. So I want to get some resolution around this. So I call her, hoping that I'm just gonna have to leave a message.
She picks up.
Yeah, or her husband picks up. So I don't email about these things. Like, do voice. So I hope that I'm just gonna leave a message, but her husband picks up. Hi, is my accountant there? Yes, she's here. So then I talk with her, and I kind of just say, so I got your email, and it sounds like something is really up. Like, you're really triggered. I thought that things were going well. I was kind of checking in with you along the way during the training, and it seemed like every step of the way was good, but now something's not good, and I just want to check in and see how we are. Kind of, how are things going here?
So you're acknowledging it, and you're tending to the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, how are we versus
Right.
figuring it all out, but like, how
Yeah,
are
even
we?
more, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't consciously do that, but I think there was a, like, how are we doing?
Right. Given that.
Even, yeah, even more than the nitty gritty of what happened.
Yeah.
And she says, well, you know, I'm not the only one who got this email. The other woman that I'm training got the email, and she was visibly nervous and upset about this. And I felt a lot of pressure now all of a sudden to wrap this thing up, and we're not done with the training, and so I'm starting to get, oh, okay, so this, she's not just triggered herself, she's also caring about the new person who's coming in and feeling a lot of pressure to finish something in a real fast way that she doesn't think is going to be of service to the company, to me, to the whole situation.
And this new person's nervous because they don't feel trained up enough, I'm imagining,
Right.
to hold it.
Yeah, the new person is nervous that I think there's too much money being spent on this. Right? And so the accountant is protecting the new person and angry at me that I'm putting so much pressure on her and so much pressure on the accountant to wrap this thing up.
Got it.
Okay? So it was all really that email, just the like 1-line, 8-word email that triggered all this. And so we talked through that, and I'm getting her world through this, and so after 10 minutes of kind of talking, I go, all right, so this is what's happening. This is like I kind of get her world, and I say to her, okay, well, I need to repair this. I blew it here, and I don't want it to be this way at all for you or for her. So we're just gonna go unlimited. Like, I take it back. Let's finish it. Let's wrap this training up. Let's go back to, you have unlimited time. Let's do it right. Take as much time, as much money as you need. Like, let's make this okay. And she goes, good, great. Like, I could feel that was a big deal for her. And then I checked in with her. So how are you and me? And she goes, we're good. We're totally good. I go, okay, so I'm gonna call the new accountant now and go through a very similar process with her to repair that relationship, because I want a solid team. I want everybody on our team to be in connected relationship and to not hold resentment towards each other. It's part of our agreements are that there's no schmoo. That if you're holding, schmoo is the technical term for some kind of angst, withhold, usually resentment or anger towards somebody on the team. Like, we gotta resolve that with all the coaches at our events, with the other trainers at our events, with the people inside my team.
And why do you feel it's so important to resolve that? Like, what's the downfall of not resolving that?
Well, first, I just have a personal trigger around it. My worst nightmare is somebody gets mad at me for something and I don't know it. And they go underground and don't tell me about it. And the relationship gets worse and worse and worse, and I don't know why. And I can't do anything about it because I haven't been told what's happening. So I've been I don't know, it's like a big trigger for me. And I've had this.
I imagine a lot of people feel that way. That just the awfulness of feeling like somebody's holding something that you don't know about and not giving the opportunity to clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've personally, like my brother who I was with the last 2 weeks, that happened between us for like 20 years. I had done something and said something in a public forum with him that I don't even remember, and he'd been holding it against me, and we've been distant from each other for 20 years over this. I just found out about that 4 or 5 years ago. So I on a personal level, I want to avoid that nightmare.
Right.
And on a practical level, I think things function much better.
Yeah, I do too.
I think people chip in, they go the extra mile, they invest their heart and their soul into the organization or the project or the whatever.
They feel that they can be free in themselves.
Yeah, they get to bring their authenticity and their joy and their vibrancy. Anytime that we are withholding and closing our heart, I think our energy levels drop, our creativity drops, our resentment comes up. It's stifling to life to live in that place.
So in terms of, for these folks here watching this,
like what do we want to isolate? Okay.
In terms of repair, what do we want to isolate so that and it's not like there's going to be a 5-step thing, but that there is something where some kind of takeaway for them to.
So the couple that are popping to mind so far, don't try to do this through email. It's really painful and things get misinterpreted all the time.
That's a big one.
Try to move in as quickly as you can. When you get your kind of stability back, I didn't want to wait days and weeks. It was either later that same day or the next day.
Don't let it fester.
I kind of got myself back to a more centered place, but I didn't let this one fester because I don't want her feeling that way and I don't want to be feeling that way, and both of us building up stories that are not true, right? So dive in. Have some agreements ahead of time that this is what we do.
That's key.
Yeah. Tell me about what you mean that that's key.
I think having a conversation beforehand, I'm just thinking about close friends or colleagues where the conversation is, if we run into something where either of us feels hurt or angry or triggered in some way, that we agree to bring that to the table with each other. Do you want to do that with me? Because I want to do it as a way to clean things up. And not everybody's open to that or even knows what that means.
Or don't want it or not good at it.
Right, or think they want it, but then when you start to do it, you realize this is not happening, working. We're not actually the best people to be working together.
Right.
But having that agreement allows for space to repair those places where things feel off. I'm just thinking of Terry, who's coming here to visit us, and she and I have done a number of those.
Right. Where something is off.
Something's off.
Somebody got their feelings hurt.
Yeah, where I've made up a story about I didn't like the way she said something or did something, and it impacted me in a certain way, and bringing that to the table so I can feel clean in that relationship, and it's actually made the relationship stronger. And we're friends and colleagues, so there's just this double dance.
Right. Which happens more and more these days. So we have that agreement when people first come into my organization. We talk about the no schmoo rule and how do we resolve conflict. And the people who I'm close to, my intimate relationships, we often, at some point, when we start getting connected enough, we'll have that conversation. And in my business, colleague to colleague, with other businesses that I collaborate with, I'm thinking of somebody who we've 2 or 3 times there's been relationship breakdown and we've had the agreement and we've come together, and those are the people that I love collaborating with because it's so easy to resolve and to know this person is going to keep it clean with me. They're going to bring it to me. We're going to deal with it. It's not going to be hidden. It is so nice to have that reassurance.
And the way that repair really strengthens and gives me, it gives trust. Data and trust that, if we can deal with that, then whatever comes forward, we can work out. Whether it's between you and I, or looking at stuff that we've already been through and come out of, gives me faith that if something else comes up, we're good. We have the skill to do that. So.
And honestly, there's a lot of skills that you can develop to do this really well, and agreements that you can develop to do this really well. We can't go into all that stuff now, but those are the big ones. Talk about it beforehand, make the agreements, do a lot of listening when you're in the conversation. When you start the conversation, describe what was going on before and what's different now, and come in with some curiosity around what's going on for the other person.
I would also add just a little tweak of positive intention around the reason that I'm bringing this up is I actually don't want to be distant from you.
Yeah.
I actually want to have a clean communication with you, and that's why I'm bringing this up. That's my intention.
Yeah. And
if that's true for you.
Right. And in an intimate relationship, like, I want to feel connected with you.
Yeah.
So let's get into this. So I feel good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is the end of this episode of the Salties. And if you want a deeper dive into all these skill development, the processes to have amazing, connected, loving relationships, we have a year-long program. It's called Relational Mastery. And head over to touchedandtransformed.com. And if you go under seminars, there will be a 3-day Relational Mastery and a year-long Relational Mastery. Go check that out. You can sign up for our newsletter, and each week you'll get more videos. Some of them are the Salties, our episodes. Some of them are from live events where we're getting into the Enneagram and personal development and the 9 different personality types and how do they evolve and grow. There's a rich bounty of free video for you over there at touchedandtransformed.com.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.